Welcome to the Geek Easy. Sit back, grab a libation of your choice, and relax, 'cause it's time to do some geek stuff in the Geek Easy. Welcome to the Geek Easy, fellow geeks. Well, today I am going to be giving my review of She-Hulk, Episode 1. Yes, I know I'm a little late. I watched it, I think the day that it came out, but it just required me taking a couple days to absorb it. And I have to say, I'm not super impressed. They did some things right. The fourth wall breaking. That's all She-Hulk. Well, Deadpool too, but, that's something that she does. And there's a couple humorous moments to it. The acting, as it was fine. But, and you had to know that was coming, there were some serious issues, in my opinion, about the whole script, the whole story. The main thing being, it just wasn't well written. And, I've heard some arguments saying, yes, this is the origin story, so, that doesn't excuse the fact that it wasn't as good as it should be. Let's go over some things here. They're driving to, they're after her first little monologue at the beginning where she breaks the wall for the first time, where she goes back to tell the story of how she became She-Hulk. She and Banner or Bruce are driving down the street, and she's doing this the whole time, not paying attention to the damn road. That's just, of course she's going to get into an accident. She's not paying attention. It kind of reminds me of a girl I work with who drives down the street FaceTime while she's doing it. But, get into the wreck, and she gets out of the car to save Bruce. Alright? Bruce doesn't need saving. He's the Hulk. Alright? All he has to do is let himself Hulk out. Boom, he'll be fine. I think that was just a way of showing that she's more capable than he was. 2. She finds herself at the bar after changing that first time, sneaks in and goes into the bathroom to clean up. I can understand that. But all of a sudden these girls come in and they think that she's assaulted. She's been assaulted. So what do? Instead of calling the police, saying, hey, you need help, you've been assaulted, they decide to try and dress her up like a hooker. Or, whatever. And send her right back outside to where she's about to get assaulted if it hadn't been for Banner coming along. And how did he find her? Secondly. But this whole thing is just that thing at the bar with the guys coming up and being super aggressive. Yes, I understand that does happen sometimes, but This show seems to be that is every guy. Then we have, you know, him at his, they meet up at his little island retreat where, you know, he's been doing work. This is part of the thing, the part that kind of annoys me the most. Because during this time, it sounds like Bruce is just a over, you know, just some big fanboy of Tony Stark. Because he's always talking about me and my best buddy, you know, Tony, he built this for me. Me and my buddy Tony, we're doing this. Me and my buddy Tony, we're doing that. And then he was, you know, almost the same thing with Steve Rogers. Yeah. Talking about, you know, and they just sort of turned him into a little fanboy nerd. Okay, there might be some irony there. But, and then they go on, you know, go into the training montage, and she's just picking it up like that. Even for someone who is supposedly as skilled and good as she is, this is something totally new. There's only one other person in the world who's had to deal with that. She's not listening to him, and two, it's going to take some time to pick this shit up. You just don't all of a sudden learn how to control this stuff. But I think the part that bugged me the most was there's two comments. Like when he's trying to get her to change in the thing for the first time, he puts the little thing on and starts the wall with the blades. And says, the change comes across with fear and anger. And it was like, oh, that's the life of being a woman. No, I mean, most of the women I know aren't walking around being fearful all day. You know, most of them aren't. I mean, and then two, you know, he's trying to. Bruce is saying you've got to control your anger, and she pops off with this comment of, I can't remember exactly what it was, where she says, you know, I've been catcalled walking down the street, and I've had underqualified men trying to explain my job to me. I've controlled my anger better than you ever could. Really? She's comparing being catcalled and having some twit trying to, you know, tell her how to do her job, saying that is worse than having watching your father beat your mother to death, being abused as a child, you know, being turned into this creature, having the U.S. government trying to kill you for years, being absolutely out of control, having no control over yourself when you are this other creature, getting to the point where you want to commit suicide and you can't even do that because this other creature is going to keep you from happening. That anger right there is not as potent or not, you know, as bad as her getting whistled at or catcalled when she's walking down the street. I mean, yeah, okay. That could be an issue for some people, and you know, I'm not invalidating it, but there's levels, people. I mean, really. And she's saying that, you know, those two, you know, and if she expresses her opinion, she could get killed. Not very likely on that one, but yeah. Yeah, there's big differences in levels on that, and And the fact they just had banners sit there and go, "You're okay, you're right," and not fight back, not point that out to her, even though she should have known because she's family. So that's just that's not something that was good. I'm hoping that this will get better. I'm gonna watch episode 2 and see if it does improve. Judging from this, I don't think it will, but I can, judging because I've seen some of the other shows they put out this season, i.e. Moon Knight, which don't get me started on that one, and stuff. It's not. I don't think it will, but I am going to give it another shot just because I want to see if it improves. But I'm going to give this issue a 2 out of 5, and that's kind of being generous at the moment. Just because I did have a couple of good laughs in there. Excuse me. But, yeah, I'm just not impressed, and I'm hoping against hope it'll improve. But let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Tell me if you think I'm right or wrong, and like, subscribe, most of all, try and enjoy your superhero shows.